Hi guys, and welcome to Uncloaked. I've rebranded the Divine Sophia to our new name, which is called Uncloaked. Heal, awaken, and remember who you are. Today's a very special episode because I have a very special guest, someone who I've known for over 20 years, who we've graced many a red carpet. We've had many a crazy party with many a crazy celebrity. And now we have different trajectories in our life. So I became a spiritual nun, as you know. And Julian. So let me tell you a bit about Julian. Or Julian, you tell us. Tell me, how did your foray start into the world?
Well, I suppose I ultimately I started in fashion, which is not kind of the angle I wanted to do. But you know how when you come to London, you fall into wherever door opens. And I've always been one of these people that every door opens, I will go into going, oh, hello, what's in here? Oh, I like that. Or if I don't, I shut the door and move on. And I worked in fashion. I worked at Marie Claire many years ago, 2000.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I started working at Marie Claire in 2000, a long time ago. And then through that, I got cast for Queer Eye for Straight Guy. And that was my first TV show.
Was that the first ever show where gay men were dressing straight men?
Yeah, well, it was the first ever gay reality TV series, because before that, every TV series was actors playing gay people.
Right.
So there was never it was the first time it really it really showed that gay men weren't all camp and effeminate like me or my role in their show, but it could be anybody. You would never know a gay man unless they told you, kind of thing. Whereas before, every actor always played that, oh, Mr. Mike, you know.
So it was a groundbreaking show.
It really was. I mean, we won an Emmy for it. It was really quite a big thing for us. We were getting 36 million viewers a week.
Emmy. He won an Emmy. They won an Emmy. So that's a big thing, darling.
We were getting 36 million viewers a week in America on our show. And at that time, we were originally on a... we weren't even a primetime channel at the time, but when the show aired, suddenly we went from 400,000 viewers to 4 million. We moved to NBC primetime, and Queer Eye, the UK one, was on a Wednesday evening at 9 o'clock, and we hit 36 million viewers.
That's just crazy.
In 3 weeks of airing. And that kind of transported me from being, you know, and I'd never trained in fashion. I just had the flair for it. I think it's one of those things you've either got or you haven't really.
Correct, yeah.
And that just moved me on. And then I spent, 12 years working. I had my next series was the Jules and Lulu show with my little sausage dog Lulu.
I remember Lulu. So we had this gorgeous...
16 years she lived for.
I know.
I often think about her and it always brings a tear to my eye because she was my +1. She was my best friend. Yeah. I spent 12 years being crazy, being at every single party. Because, you know, you got to remember when we started out, there was no such thing as social media. There was no TikTok. There was no Instagram. There was no sitting at home and telling people everything's fine. You literally had to be at the opening of an envelope. Yeah. You had to be seen in, spotted in Heat magazine was one of the ways.
You'd been out. I remember Heat magazine.
Spotted here and all. Wow. And this is before we all started doing OK. Because you got to remember, we had a life of 15 years in the social pages of OK magazine. It was, who's at what party and all the rest of it. And at those times, you were knackered because you'd be out filming all day. You'd be out every evening and still playing that role on TV and then getting home going... and then having to get up at 5 in the morning because I was doing, all the breakfast shows, all the style shows, Lorraine. I mean, I've just walked past Richard and Judy's studios. I did 5 years of Richard and Judy.
Wow.
And I loved working with them and they were great fun. I mean, it was, I forget. I mean, when you asked me to do this, I was like, oh, okay. And then it was thinking, what have I done? And I started going back over the years. I even read my bio and thought, well, I've done more than that, actually.
Yeah. You forget, don't you? Even I forget.
Well, look, I mean, let's look at you, for instance. When I first met you, you were at the forefront of finding the rights for women. There's this Indian Bollywood actress on red carpets wearing PVC and latex and stuff. And
Which was never done, yeah.
No, and I remember people booing you. And we went to some Indian premiere, I remember. I don't know, was it Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Can't remember.
I can't, something like that. And everybody's in their saris. And me and you, I'm wearing my red velvet. I remember this. And you're wearing this beautiful black... I mean, you were squelching down the red carpet, covered in talcum powder to get the thing off afterwards. And it was like, why not? We live in the UK. You can do this kind of thing. And, you looked amazing. You still look amazing. I mean, you've never changed in the 15, 20 years that I've known you. And we all have our own journeys. And we have this way, you and I and very few people, I mean, I've looked back now in the past 20 years. I don't talk to anybody I used to talk to years ago because they're all exhausting. And I think they probably found me exhausting at the time and I wouldn't be surprised. But I've got rid of all the baggage that was, I realized when you pick up the phone and speak to somebody, and they tell you the same things they were telling you 30 years ago. You're like, well, you've got nothing of interest to
Right.
me
Now,
anymore.
are these people that are in the industry or party friends?
No. But the industry and party friends are all the same for me.
Right. Okay. So
no
I'm gonna say something. So you said they're saying the same stuff. They're doing the same stuff.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, there's two things I want to talk about here. What do you think it is about both of us? Because I agree with you 100%. I mean, I called somebody, I think it was 2 years ago. I won't say who they are. New Year's Day to say Happy New Year. And it was obvious he hadn't slept for 3 nights.
Yep.
And then he gave the phone to somebody else. They were all off their faces on coke or whatever they were doing. And I could hear him, and he was talking about, he's going to know who I am if I say this, but nobody else is, talking about his car accident. And I was just like, I remember being at a party with him 15 years ago. I used to do coke then.
We all did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the same story.
Yeah.
So what happens when you do coke? You sit down and you tell your same sob story over and over again, and everybody pretends to be your friend.
Absolutely.
And
Because
actually
the drugs
they're
are there, the booze are there, there's a party there. It's the monotony of that lifestyle. It is, you're chasing and chasing and chasing, and almost it's the fear of missing out. There was a huge amount of that in our world.
Actually, I think it's got a little bit worse now with social media. It's called FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. And what's happening is you've got a lot of kids now. When I say kids, I mean
teenagers.
Teenagers even up to, I don't know, people in their 30s even, who are like, they need to have they need to have the cosmetic surgery. They need to have the car. They need to be a millionaire by the time they're 20, because that's what social media tells you, right?
I don't do social media, and I tell you why. It's because when I do, I've gone down the rabbit hole twice on Insta, and I'm like, oh, here we go. And an hour and a half later, I think it's been 5 minutes, and I'm going boom like this, and I'm like, I'm watching all this lies. It's all lies.
It's all lies.
It's lies.
It's on social media.
No picture on there is real. There is no rawness or reality to it. It is people desperately trying to promote what they think is right.
Yeah.
And it's not true.
And now you've got AI, and what's
even worse.
Oh my God, I mean, I've seen, so what guys are doing is they're making these AI models. So they're building these women with ridiculous proportionate bodies, making them like move their boobs in the camera, and making them into OnlyFans. So they're making money on OnlyFans.
Of course. And I mean, that's something else we'll talk about later on. But the problem for me is the fact that what I really gets me right now, and I don't go out at all. This is the first time I've left my home in a year and a half.
All right, no, wait. Tell me why.
Why?
Is it
because I've got major issues with anxiety about people, about people's conversations. I'm really quite abrupt with my conversations now.
Good.
If somebody's talking, I'm just like, bullshit, I really don't care.
Good.
You haven't even lived long enough to suffer what I've been through and all the rest of it. I don't understand. People moan, and people don't know what hard work is anymore. People don't know what it is to actually survive in this world because everything is given to them. Everything is so easy. You don't have to work anymore. You know, back in our day, if you didn't work, you didn't earn money, you didn't pay bills, you didn't have anywhere to live, you were homeless, you were done for. Now it is just so easy to sit at home and post pictures or do nothing and get paid money for it. And I think that...
And yet people still complain that they can't make any money.
No, of course.
But you still get that.
But the desire or the need to be a millionaire or multimillionaire, it is the worst need in the world, because what you're seeing is the people that post that they've got it actually haven't got it. They're just pretending. The ones that have got it don't post anything about that. They post good stuff about positive thinking, about positive mental attitude, about survival, about not being a victim but a survivor.
Well, this is what the podcast is about, and this is why I asked you. So let's talk about survival. What now? There's a lot that you've gone through. Let's talk about cancer.
Yeah. I mean, now, as of November the 7th, 2024, I got the all clear finally, and it's taken 12 years.
What sort of cancer did you have?
I had esophageal to start with, which was terrible. So I've got a tiny implant in my throat. My esophagus split in half, basically. And it was on my birthday.
Do you know what? I'm going to say something, and I'm a little bit ashamed to say it, but I have to say it because I'm honest, and this is
Never
what
be
this
ashamed
podcast...
of anything.
Do you know at one point I didn't believe that you had cancer?
No one did. No one did.
I'm going to say that to you because...
That's okay.
And you know what? Something has also happened recently, which, again, the universe is giving me a message. So, did you know...
Yes.
Did you know he's dead?
Yes, you told me on a WhatsApp recently.
Yeah. So he died on... basically.
Yeah.
Now, he told me that he had all these heart issues. I wasn't sure if I believed him because he was always high. And the last time he came to my house, he dropped me and my half sister off at my house, and because we bumped into him outside in Mayfair. He dropped us off, went to the loo, and he was about 20 minutes in the toilet. Now, my half sister is really young. She's 21, 22. So I was like, I don't want people in my house who are taking drugs. Anyway, he said, oh, I'm just having a problem going to the toilet because of the stuff that's wrong with me. I didn't believe him, and that he had medical issues. But his medical issues came from drugs. Now,
Bad, isn't it?
so this is the thing, is, it's really sad. I mean, I shouldn't have probably said that because the autopsy hasn't come through.
It doesn't matter. What happened? His time is up. End of story. Yeah, but whether it's self-inflicted or not.
Yeah, no, but what I wanted to go back to is that, I mean, the point is that part of me didn't want to believe that he had this illness. I actually saved his...
But why?
Because of the drugs. I think when... And this is the thing with you as well, Julian, is that, I've known you for so long, and I love you. I do love you. And you're always, like you're always there in the back of my mind, and I always have to check up on you, even if it's a message after a month or two.
You do that. I've sometimes a year. It's lovely.
Yeah. And like on your birthday, you were like, actually, you're the one of two people who've sent me happy birthday, right?
And the only two people that mattered.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird?
But I didn't believe you because of the drugs. I was like, is he just doing this because he needs sympathy? Which is also...
I've never craved sympathy, though.
But it's also a cry. But then I thought maybe he needs something. But it was real.
Yeah, it was
right?
real.
It was real.
And it was terrible. But it was also something that my parents didn't know about.
Sorry, how your parents didn't know about it?
I didn't tell them because I'm not going to talk about my parents because they're very private. But my parents aren't those loving kind of people. I think when I got my second cancer and I told my mother, she came to a chemo with me, held my hand for 5 minutes, felt my temperature, said, you'll be fine, and walked out and never spoke to me again for 4 years.
4 years?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we just don't have that kind of relationship.
Well, listen, me and my mother, my mum kidnapped me at knife point when I was 19. When I was 10, I told her that my uncle was sexually abusing me.
I remember.
She told me it's my fault. So...
When people don't understand, they blame that person. So, for instance, when your mother says it's your fault that's happening,
doesn't understand
what would you have been doing at 10 to encourage somebody older to do that? I was sexually abused at boarding school, but it took me years to realise it was abuse. I thought I was being educated by a much older guy at boarding school that this is the ways of the world. I didn't even know what wanking was when I was 13 when I came to England. I had a very restricted childhood growing up in the South Pacific and Africa and China, but worldly wise, I was way ahead of everybody at 13 when I came to England. But on the other side of things, I had no idea. I was very much, oh, okay. But to me, it was all about learning. It was about needing more information. I love reading. It's about things that excite me.
Let's just slow down.
Yeah, we're gonna go all over the shot today.
Yeah,
but
I know. I just want to slow down because you've just brushed past all the stuff that is important. I mean, but the thing is, you're a bit like me. I do that sometimes. I'm like, yeah, I got sexually abused, and I've dealt with it because I'm a healer, right? And I've had years of not just therapy, but doing healing stuff. Ayahuasca was my biggest
I know, I remember.
help.
You changed completely.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember that. But then you gave yourself the time to think about it and deal with it. I never gave myself the time.
Have you given yourself
I
the
have
time
now, yeah. In the past, couple of years, I've learned to be okay on my own, to enjoy my own company, even to the point where I actually hate company sometimes.
Yeah, but babe, what have you done about the healing or the many things that have happened?
I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I'm still learning.
How do you think, I'm going to ask you some questions because obviously I'm a healer as well and your friend. I don't think we've ever sat down in a situation where I've spoken to you as a healer.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So how do you think we've had the sexual abuse, we've had the abandonment from your mother, we've had the cancer. Now,
there's more. I've been raped twice as well by two very famous footballers once. I mean, I've been through it all, but
so let's
just scream and shout about it to me is not my message. To me is dealing with it.
What is the message?
I don't really know. I mean, my messages have changed over the years.
But listen, changing the messages is fine, my love. But
I still don't know, Sophia.
Have you at any point looked at this trauma and allowed yourself to release it, or is it still inside? It's
still inside. I'm trying to deal with it. I talk every week with a doctor who frustrates me immensely. I've been doing group therapy that doesn't work because I look at everybody else in the group.
I'm going to get you to come in and I'm going to do a healing session for you.
I'm very angry. I'm angry at, not me. I suppose I'm angry at the situations that I put myself in that have allowed it, but then it's not my fault. I'm going through is it my fault? Did I actually bring that on? Did I deserve
That's
it?
important.
To, you know, it's not my fault. And in actual fact, I was a victim, but I hate the word victim. But then
you were taken advantage of.
Completely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So this is the thing. Let's just focus in on that, is that, and I was taken advantage of many times as a child and as an adult. So you were taken advantage of because there is a part of you that still has this beautiful, naive, pure source of light that we were all born with.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people don't have, right? Some people don't have that because they choose to go on. And I asked myself this question a long time ago, Sophia, you need to be like the bad ones because they succeed. You know, sleep with the people for money in India because then you'll make the biggest movie and make lots of money. But I could never do that. So I always maintain that morality and that purity, right? But what I found through my healing work is that anybody who comes to me with cancer, it's unresolved issues, generally with the parents. It's anger that hasn't come out because anger is a very sacred emotion.
Oh, God, yeah.
It needs, I always say, you've got to face, with the cancer people I've worked with, it's like, okay, I can see the issue. I'm like, okay, you've got this issue with your mother. And especially men, they'll be like, well, no, I don't. Because they've built so many coping mechanisms up over the years. Yeah. Right? And so I'm like, okay, you now are in a safe space to say what your heart wants to say. Right? And they can be words like, this is hurting me. They can be words like, you didn't fucking protect me. Right?
Oh, there's anger. There's deep anger.
Yeah, and these things cause cancer. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Anything, negativity, anything that, and it's...
What do you want to say? Like,
I'm just really fucking angry,
tell me,
Sophia.
what does your...
about everything. I'm angry about the world. I'm angry about the way things are changing. I'm angry about the way people are these days. I woke up the other day going, if I had a gun right now, I would happily shoot half the people that live in my building. Right, because they do fuck all in this world.
Forget that. Wait.
I'm just talking about am I
No,
angry?
but this is the anger outside of you. So what you're doing is, instead of, I know exactly what you're doing, my love. So what you're doing, instead of saying, I'm angry because I got fucking raped, I'm angry because my mother wasn't there when I had cancer, you're projecting it outside of yourself. You're not allowing yourself. This is what's going on. Now, if you're brave enough, and if you want to, you can say, I don't want to. Close your eyes. Just close your eyes. Yeah, take a deep breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Do that a few more times. And just keep breathing like that, yeah? And then I just want you to put your left hand over your heart and just breathe into your heart space. What do you want to say to your heart? First thing that comes to your mind. Keep your eyes closed.
I'm sorry.
What are you sorry for?
I'm sorry for not listening to it more.
There you go.
You know, but I always used to. I never made decisions because of my mind. I led by emotions. I made decisions emotionally rather than mentally.
Okay, and
but I wasn't strong enough.
Okay, breathe into that heart space again. What do you really want to say to your mum?
Goodbye.
Well done. I want you to validate that feeling in your heart. And what are you saying goodbye to?
Her. Everything.
And?
Closure. I just need her gone.
Gone?
Even now.
For what? Okay, now I want you to tell me what she's done.
It's still, to this day, there's always putting me down. Or everything. And I'm like, I look back at my past 30 years, Sophia, as an adult, and I think I did actually really bloody well for someone that left at home at 18 with nothing.
And so what?
And I'm so proud of myself.
Good.
And I think I've always wanted my mother to say proud. And I asked her once, and she said, well, why do you need to hear that from me? You don't need to hear it from me. I'm like, I do. She goes, the word proud means nothing. People are proud when their child ties a shoelace. I mean, come on.
Right, listen, you and I have
I'm getting angry
You
again,
and I,
see,
no, but this is
getting stressed.
No, allow it.
Yeah.
No, you know what? You and I for years wanted my mother to say, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
For years, right? my mum kidnapped me at knife point. I turned up at the house, and because my sister was like, yeah, she'll welcome you back. They slammed the door in my face. I didn't have money for petrol to drive back to university. Luckily, my dad came through. They weren't living together, and gave me some money. But I always wanted them to be proud of me. And I remember I had an argument with my sister, and I remember she said, and this was when me and my mum started to become friends again, and she said, we accepted you back. And I said, you've accepted me back. And I was like, it's me who needs to accept you.
Yeah.
Right. So this whole thing, and listen, there's a lot of people who are going through this. It's not just you and I. There's people out there who might be 17, 20, 30, who are going through this and seeking this approval from their parents. And my mother is messed up, your mother is messed up. And see, I don't have any more anger towards her because I found who I am, and I am a beautiful, incredible, sacred, holy, beautiful, fun, intelligent woman who gives so much to other people. And now I'm giving so much to myself.
To you, yeah.
Right? So you're okay, if we were coming up steps, I'm probably trodden the path quite deeply, higher.
Yeah, no, you have, definitely.
But you're coming up, and it's beautiful because this anger, it doesn't belong to you. So when I do...
Oh, I understand now.
Right?
It's just clicked. I just got it. Thank you.
Say
I
it.
just got it.
Say it. This anger doesn't belong to me.
It doesn't belong to me. You're right. And it's the first time I've realised that. It's not my anger, is it?
No.
It's really not mine. And I'm angry at myself for being angry. Okay.
No, let it out, babe.
I will.
Don't
worry.
It's not your anger.
I know it's not.
And what's just happened now,
God.
It's not yours. None of those horrible words.
It's not, is it? It's not, is it?
Whose anger is it?
It's theirs.
Exactly.
It's all theirs.
Yeah. Projecting them on you.
And to me, and then I'm taking that on as my anger.
It's not.
And it's not. It's got fuck all to do with me.
You're not that person.
No.
They are.
They are, completely. You've just made me realise that. Wow. Okay.
I love it. Your energy's just shifted. Like, how beautiful.
It's like you were just saying, like they've accepted you back in. It wasn't their choice it wasn't up to them. It was yours. It was the fact that something very similar happened with my mother. I got angry at her because of a situation that had happened, and I stood up for her, but she didn't see that and didn't talk to me for 2 years. And then my father said, your mother's forgiven you. I went, but I need to forgive her. It's not hers forgiveness. Yeah. And it put me down for 2 years. And
Do you know what forgiveness is? Do you know what forgiveness is?
No, you tell me.
Oh, well, so I've just written a book. And forgiveness, and I've realized this on many levels, not just because I've read a book, but because I've gone through it in my life, with my ayahuasca journeys, all the healing therapies that I've done. So I came up with this concept. Forgiveness means, for I give you back what you gave to me, for it was never mine to begin with.
Yeah, okay.
So when everybody talks about forgiveness, saying, oh, you must forgive. And I'm like, no. I'm like, but you don't understand. It doesn't mean you let them get away with it.
No.
What happened when you were this beautiful young child who had no concept of the crap that you decided to take on because of your naivety, forgiveness. So you've taken it. Someone's gone, in healings, I actually throw things at people. Let's see if this works. Will you catch it? You didn't catch it.
No, because I leave it. It's someone else's shit.
Right. So that could be your mum going, you're a piece of shit.
Leave it. If I caught it, I'm holding on to their shit.
Right. So that's what you were doing with everybody and everything.
Oh, everything. I take on everybody's I'm even doing it now where I live. I'm dealing with all these single mums that are going through shit. I had one of them turn up yesterday crying about all of this. And do you know what? I said, you need to leave my flat.
Good.
Because this is not my space anymore. But I've allowed them to come in. It. Because I was lonely, or I wanted, I don't like seeing people suffer.
Yeah,
there's
the two things. Now, listen, you said because you were lonely and you don't like people suffering. There's so many parallels with you and I. So when my healing ability all kicked in, I did 2 years of free service, and I had to deal with the people who were saying, oh, you're a healer, you should do it for free. I basically do 50% off for anyone with terminal illness.
Yeah.
for the first 2 sessions, and don't tell them, but I end up giving after that 3 sessions
More.
because I have to.
It's because you're giving.
Yeah. So there's that part of it, that, and the lonely thing. I went through a whole lot of that where I'm like, I'm lonely, and I think that a lot. COVID also did a lot of damage for that, right? But what happens in that loneliness, there's 2 things going on. Number one is that we do it, we all do it. We invite people in that we perhaps don't want to hang around with anymore. It's just like, I'm just lonely.
No one else.
Right. Yeah. So you bring them in. Is there no one else, or is it just that we're more comfortable doing that? Yeah. So we bring them in. But there's another loneliness, which is what I call if you want to call it something, the Buddha loneliness. It's not loneliness. You're going into solitude. You're going into what the caterpillar does before it becomes a butterfly. It's a metamorphosis. And the cocoon can feel freaking dark.
And tight. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Claustrophobic. Yeah.
Right. And exactly claustrophobic. Yeah. I went through this phase, still not 100% out of it, where I would go out, the music would disturb me, people's energies would disturb me.
But I don't leave my house because of that now.
Right. No, but you know what that is? It's because you're in the cocoon and if you're not doing any more drugs and
getting here today was a fucking tough thing for me because I hadn't even gone out to the shop for months.
Wow.
I haven't left because every time I do, I come back so angry at the world around me.
How do you feel now?
I feel great because I'm with you. I feel comfortable. Yeah. I'm in a cocoon in here.
Yeah.
It's warm.
But what made you get on the train and decide to come and see?
Because I wanted to see you.
Yeah.
Because I know who you are and I know that you're the person I needed to see today.
Yeah.
Because I know when I leave and go back to my cocoon, I'll be dealing with things a little bit differently because I would have spent some time with you.
Yeah.
And I'm feeding off your energy and it's what I needed.
So there's a shift.
Absolutely.
You're feeling a shift. My energy is affecting your energy.
But you see, you messaged me, asked me to do this at a time when I, obviously it was at the right time.
Yeah.
If you'd asked months ago, no. In months' time, who knows? But and this is what I find our relationship has, is it's always there. It runs parallel and we have our own journeys, but we reconnect at times when I need you and you need me. It's weird, but I think that's what life is about, is our journeys. Yeah. And at some point, sometimes you might not see somebody for 30 years and they appear.
But then we also let go, like a tree sheds leaves that it doesn't need anymore.
Seasonal. Autumn, we shed our leaves.
Are you still, I'm going to ask you, are you still taking drugs?
No, not at all. No, the only drugs I take are my antidepressants. And I'm trying to get off
First of all, I'm really proud of you. Because
I'm on my own. Drugs were because I was out all the time. I was going out. I mean, you think, you and I at this party and then in this hotel penthouse and we're at, some sheikhs at the Dorchester picking his next hose and all the rest of it. It was all part of that, you see, and that was the environment that it was in. But I don't go out. I don't go to bars or pubs. I can't hear. I have really bad tinnitus now.
Can you just take that compliment? I'm super fucking proud of you.
I'm proud of me though, and I think that's what
it is.
Because
the most important thing.
Yeah, it was for me more than anybody else, and I love it because back in London there were triggers. I don't drink alcohol. I haven't drunk alcohol in over a year and a half.
Well
I just
done.
My body. Do you know what? I had a gin and tonic recently, and I had a sip of it. I went, it tastes disgusting. Your body knows it's wrong. I listen to my body now.
Good.
I never used to.
You're going through this. Listen.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing in some people is this shift. We've, whether this makes sense to you or not, we're in the age of Aquarius. We're in the new Earth energy, and people are the universe is choosing people. It's saying. So what this age of Aquarius is, it's the age of spirituality. It's the age of manifestation. It's the age of coming into your own power. So you have a choice. A, there's a choice, and B, the universe is picking you. It's picking people out.
Okay.
I got picked out a while back, 10 years ago. Yeah. Come on, Sophia, you're coming up.
You're coming with us.
And then...
and you stayed on that path, and I think that's beautiful.
Yeah. I haven't touched drugs for 10 years.
It's not even that. You were chosen.
I was chosen.
And you stayed on that path through thick or thin. Through shit and good shit and bad shit
and people
and all the bullshit around you.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're still in London in the heart of it all. I can't even come into the fact that I got on the tube today. I was dripping with sweat. I was panicking. The noise, the people, the smells. And it was all the little triggers that used to set me off straight to a bar. I'd just go straight to a bar and start drinking, which then would lead to buying drugs. And then it would be at this party. Yeah. And you know what it was like. Every day there'd be invite to this, to that. You never paid for anything. Exactly. It was just a free for all. And then you'd end up on your own at home, miserable as hell. And of course, I hated being lonely. And something else I wanted to talk to you about was, you know, obviously Nikos passed and then Ed passed. You know, 2 Christmases ago was my turning point.
Yeah.
And that's when my 3 true loves, Ed, who I was with for 12 years, Nikos, who I was with for 7, and Toby for 5, they all died of cancer in a period of 9 days, one after the other.
9 days?
Yes, at Christmas. And that took me to the edge.
I didn't know that they all died.
Yeah, no, you knew about Nikos. He died, and he died on his birthday.
I know.
His heart stopped at the same time it started 42 years earlier. But
Crazy.
Ed died. He went to hospital on a Tuesday with stomach pains, was dead by Friday. Toby died Saturday. In the order of my relationships, I left Ed on Friday and met Toby the next day on Saturday, and they died exactly the way I met them.
And you're still standing, Julian.
And I'm still standing, but that was difficult for me because it took me down the path of suicide. And I got sectioned. I got sent away for 4 months.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, I've been going in and out of that. Last year was a very bad year for me, and I'll explain more about these.
No.
I think I'm permanently being challenged. I think that's what the world does. You know, you've been dragged on this wonderful path that you've stuck to, you know, in all ways. I'm only joining a new path. And I think
you're on a very similar path.
But I'm still learning to let go of anger, which I'm going to start doing now. Thank you.
Because it's not yours.
Because it's not mine. I'm going to laugh about it rather than get angry.
It's not yours.
No, because I punch walls with my anger sometimes.
Right.
But then now I realise it's not mine. I'm going to look at my wall going, you fucking idiot, Julian. That wasn't your anger. You got a hole in the wall. I've got artwork on walls where there's holes in now, so no one can see it. It's all aesthetic. But I am at that start because, God, it's wonderful talking to you because you make more sense than most of these doctors I've been speaking to in the past couple of years have ever done. But I think it's because you've lived what I've lived and you understand.
I've lived what you've lived. I've lived a lot of traumas. And as a healer and someone who can speak to dead people, I learn from every one of those people. And, you know, I nearly died last year. Did you know about that?
No.
Okay, so I had 4 suspected heart attacks over the last year after the vaccine. And then
Was this because of the vaccine?
There were 2 things going on, but mainly the vaccine. So I got rushed. It was 6 o'clock in the morning. So I collapsed at the doctor's office. They told me to go to A&E. I didn't because I was like, no one's going to look after my dogs. So I walked home because my surgery is 5 minutes away and I couldn't walk properly. I was just really slow. Got home like, you'll be fine, Sophia. But the next day, 4 days later, it happened again, 6 o'clock in the morning. I knew the cleaner was going to be there at 9 o'clock. So I was like,
A&E.
And she had the key. So I'm like, A&E. Got there, collapsed at reception. They immediately saw me. This guy called Jordan Jesus took me to the back room. He's a nurse assistant. I couldn't even stand up. I was like this. He said, Sophia, what's going on? And at that point, like I was blacking out and all I said was, my organs are shutting down. I could feel my organs shut down. And I had my last thoughts. So I know what happens when you die. The thoughts were, you should have forgiven everybody. Forgive everyone, Sophia. You should have done more of that. And the other one was, you should have trained someone to take over your business because you built such a good business. Thank God there was nothing else.
Not like, you know, not like all the other shit.
Nothing major. And then I heard a voice going, Sophia, 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 look up, look up, look up. And I heard this voice and I looked up and it was Jordan Jesus. He's like, look at me, look at me, look at me. And he had these crazy ass contact lenses on. So he's a black guy and with these crazy blue lenses. So that was like putting Epsom salts under my nose. I was just like, oh, he's got weird eyes. So it kind of snapped me out. And he said, hold on to me if you need to. So he gave me a hug and he later on said, you were dying and I wanted to give you comfort in your last breath.
Good God.
So as I held on to this man, no word of a lie, I just said to him, you're a healer. And he said, I like to think I am. I felt an energy transfer.
Isn't that amazing?
And I started to come to. It took 2 hours to come to. They found nothing with my blood test. Absolutely nothing wrong with me.
Okay.
You know.
So what do you think it was then?
They
must have done an EKG and all the rest of it about your heart.
Yeah, so I've done loads of those. I was under a lot of investigation. They found nothing. Now, I then eventually...
It was your energy that was dying, not
There was a lot of
you.
stuff. So eventually what happened was I got a blood test. A doctor in Luxembourg saw that my streptococci levels were really high. And they were high for a year. My doctors in the UK were saying, you may have had a sore throat. These levels hang around. She said, get onto antibiotics, prescribed me high dose for 10 days. Because she said that they found that people who took the vaccine, their streptococci levels shot up and it can attack the heart.
Right. Okay.
So that was a part of it. I had some
Okay.
black magic as well.
Yep.
I saw it. I saw it happen. I know who it's
Just think though, if this Jordan Jesus, I mean, what a name to have of all things, JJ. If it wasn't him, it was somebody else that was there those last minutes, you might not be here.
I know. So what, I mean,
because he was sent to you.
He was, because what happened, I did actually go to was on my way to another hospital after the doctor said, because I had to go for my eye, because I've got this lymphatic issue. And when I was there, I'm like, just go to the A&E. Doctors told you. Got out, got in a cab, went to the A&E part. They told me this isn't the A&E part. Oh, okay, get another taxi. Stood on the road, no taxi for a while. Saw a donut shop, got a donut.
As one does. Sugar.
I'll have a donut. I'm like, I can't be bothered with this. Go home. And it was the next day. So I was only meant to be in front of Jordan.
That's my point. That those people, that person was sent to you.
Absolutely.
From the spiritual world.
Yeah, and I invited him in for a free sound healing. We're now friends, because I said to him, you saved my life. Yeah.
Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah, thank you, Jordan.
Jesus.
Yeah, so that...
But how did you feel after that? Did you feel like you were drained and you had to start all over again?
No.
Or was it just a hiccup as such in your journey?
No. It made me think to forgive everyone. That was the first thing.
Train someone up to do your business.
Well, I hadn't done that yet. But I was thinking, where do I want to die? And what legacy do I want to leave behind? Because
I've been thinking about legacy.
So I want to live in Mexico, because you've got the ocean there. People are so nice. You would love it. The people are lovely. The ocean is very calming. The energy there. There's an energy there. Healers are attracted to Mexico. There's a lot of healers out there. Yeah, a lot of healers out there.
Where in Mexico? Because I know some places.
The Tulum area.
Okay.
But not where the clubs are.
No.
So,
totally away from all that.
But I've dipped, it's nice to dip into, because it's not crazy clubs. You're on the beach. I mean, if you want to dance salsa, you're on the freaking beach, or you're outside.
Yeah.
With
all of nature.
They have full moon ceremonies. You've got the jungle. You've got the monkeys. It's just beautiful.
Okay, interesting.
So for me, I've got a past life there. So that was the one thing. It's like, if I'm ever going to get sick again, I want to be able to walk to the beach.
Of course.
I want to be able to have my
hand.
naked feet on
sand.
We don't walk around with naked feet here. We spend a lot of time indoors.
We step on syringes and all the rest of it.
And that's not good for you
No,
as a
God,
human
no,
being,
not at all.
right? We need to be in nature.
I mean, we're bare feet now. I love it.
Yeah, that's why
barefoot.
I have bare feet here, because, we connect. And also, out in Mexico, you are outdoors 90% of the time. Here, you're inside. It's not good for you. The energy of London can be a bit crazy. I love London for many reasons.
Do you still love London then?
I have ups and downs with it. I love it when the weather's good.
When did you move to London?
Oh, gosh, 25 years ago, 26 years ago.
Yeah, because I moved in 91 to London.
Okay.
So over 30 years ago.
Okay, so you longer. Yeah.
I did 30 years here and then I'm done.
Yeah, so I'm now done. I'm just selling my house, and then I'm going to Mexico. I'm going to get a big house. And
you get something next to the beach, don't you?
Yeah. I will
With the jungle behind you.
Yeah, that's what it's like. So the first thing I thought about was, where do I want to die? And this is things that we have to ask ourselves. Where do you want to be when you're on your last legs?
Death is on my agenda at the moment, because I'm losing. A lot of people are dying. You forget when you're 20 or 30 that people start dying. And then when you get to 50, people the same age are dying, be it through cancer or heart attacks at our age. And then obviously your aunts and uncles, parents, their age, they're all dropping off the thing. So death is very out there when you get to your 50s.
So so this made me think about, because also I've been doing social media, and the time when I wasn't feeling well, I wasn't myself. So I was on social media and I tried to do what everybody else was doing. I got into selling vitamins and all that kind of stuff. People selling stuff. TikTok are encouraging me to sell stuff. And I'm like, this isn't me. I'm like, if I'm going to die, I don't want people to see me making some video, no matter how good it is, on selling something. I understand why people do it, because they want to make money. Because,
of course.
But
it's not
I've never been...
But that was you thinking of doing that at your weakest point, though, as well.
My weakest point, yeah. And I've never been influenced by money ever in my life. I've just influenced by my heart all the time,
always.
Right? So, and then I just thought, Sophia, and that's why I did the healing job. Not the job, but that's why I went into service, as I call it. I saw angels. They gave me they asked me a question: what do you want in life? Because you can have it. And I knew I was going to have it. So I sat down and I said, I want peace in the world. I knew I then had a mission. So for me, it's like, you don't know when you're going to die, right? It doesn't matter. Okay, we think about it when we're 50. There are people who die in their 20s. There are babies that die. My niece, God,
when your time's up, your time's up.
God bless her. She carried a baby for 8 months and it was a stillborn, and she nearly died. She actually died in that birth. Saw her baby taking her to heaven, but she had 2 little babies on earth who were like, "Mummy, come back." She saw that.
Wow.
Right? And funnily enough, her own mother wasn't there for her. Oh yeah. So, this is the whole ancestral bullshit coming back. So there's this ancestral trauma that we keep passing on until one person breaks it. You're the person that's breaking it. I'm breaking it. My niece will break it. So I think about death because I'm like, we're leaving behind a digital footprint, right? When I die, what's my legacy? Yeah. Is it going to be how good I put makeup on TikTok? And there's nothing wrong with makeup influencers.
Don't get me wrong, nothing at all. But it's been done far too many times.
Not only has it been done,
there's nothing new about it.
No, but what's happening is that we could have far more spiritually intelligent children. They're there as well, because I think that they're both like this. I think as much as people are doing the stuff that doesn't matter, you also have
the people that are doing stuff that does matter.
Even kids.
But it's not even kids. But it's not seen enough yet.
On social media, it depends what you tune into.
Yeah, I suppose so your algorithm chooses, yeah.
But this is the thing. What you tune into in social media, what you tune into in life, that will come back.
Do you think that, honestly, when you look at, okay, so you say social media and look at life, tuning into social media or tuning into life, for someone that is spiritual like yourself, do you find tuning into life is actually where you get all your energy from, not social media? Because what you know of social media, it's not the right tuning in, is it, surely? For someone with the spiritual side. But what you've said,
do you think tuning into life or tuning into here is where you get all your energy from?
Well, no, do you find you get better energy from that's real? Because don't you find that a lot of stuff on social is bullshit, as we've said?
No, but let's go back to the
I'm asking you. Yeah.
Well, let's go back to the energy thing. I don't get my energy from those sources. I create that energy.
Well, the energy comes from
and
here.
I choose where to put it.
Right, yeah.
So social media doesn't have the energy, nor does life outside of you. You're the creator of that energy.
Interesting.
Now, the only thing that's going to get bigger is where you choose to put it. So every day, I'm going to invent this. So if there's an inventor out there who wants to get involved, it's a
patent this right now.
Yeah, I'm patenting it. It's a badge, right? Every day you wake up, this badge, it's like red, amber, green, and like levels.
Traffic lights.
Yeah, but in like lines. So when you wake up in the morning, it's full.
Right.
And during the day, it may go down.
Yeah.
Right. Depending. So say you meet someone on the street, theirs is down. They're going to latch onto you because you're high.
Yeah, because they want to zoop.
Right. So this is what I'm saying. You then choose, oh, I can see your battery's down. But we don't see it in real life. Or we do, right?
Yeah.
It's
not as visible as
one would think. You go, yeah, it's not as visible. Some people are very clever. But you go, okay, no. But then you meet another one who's full. This is where you choose. So you're getting into that energy space with that person. And then you blow up energetically. Then it's joy. So social media, if you allow your brain to go into a space of non-consciousness, will take your energy.
Yep.
Because you're constantly doing this, right?
Of course.
And real life will also do that. But you need to put the power back in yourself and say, actually, nothing gives me energy. I create it. Every morning, I have got this divine energy, this life force that runs through.
You're your own battery.
Yeah.
Yeah. You recharge when you sleep. You recharge
and
when you
choose.
Put it back. Yeah. Where you
where
get
you
rid
put
of
it.
your energy. Yeah.
So if you've got something like an illness like cancer that I've seen in people, they're putting it in the wrong people, into the narcissistic energies. Mainly, there's a lot of these narcissistic energies.
Of course there is.
And once you get into your consciousness and you're in control of your energy, let's even forget the word consciousness. I'm in control of my own energy now. I know that I've got this huge, incredible energy every day, and there are opportunities for me to put it into places, and I'm sowing seeds. So, I've got 100 seeds every day. Where do I want to put it? Because that's going to grow.
See, these sowing seeds are also your legacy. You see, because it's the I call it like the pebble effect. When you drop a pebble in the tree, you see this little ripple effect, and the ripple builds and builds and builds. That's what you're doing, and that is your legacy. So in 100 years' time, some little seed that you've sown today, in 100 years' time, is your legacy. And
what seeds do you want to sow?
I don't know. It's what I've been thinking about a lot recently, because I've been thinking about not death. I've been thinking about So when I came to England, I saw a television. I'd never seen one before. I was 13 years old in 1988. Everybody'd seen a television apart from me. And I said to my mummy, "Mummy, what's this?" She went,
"How come you hadn't seen a television?"
Because I lived in tropical islands where you could barely get BBC World Service on radio.
Wow.
There weren't televisions. I mean, most of the people that lived on the island lived in their grass huts up in the rainforest, you see, and there'd be the embassy and there'd be the whiteboard. You know, it was very different, but it was just reading books was my TV. And my mother said, "It's like a mini cinema." I was like, wow. And she put the television on and I watched an episode of Newsround, which I loved, presenting, you know, the news for the kids. And then Doctor Who, which freaked me out completely. And I said to my mother, "Mummy, I'm going to be on this one day. It's going to have my name on it." She went, "Of course you are." And I mean, that was at a time when I didn't know I was going to end up on television, but that was my first goal. And when I was 13, and at 27, I got my first TV show. Now, between 13 and 27, I did every job going, pub management, restaurants, PR. I did everything because I never knew where it was going to lead, because I wanted to do everything until I found out something I was really, really good at. And then somehow, through being spotted by some beauty editor on her honeymoon in the Maldives, led me to work at Marie Claire.
Amazing.
That led to Queer Eye, that led to the Jules and Lou show. And I was like, there we go. My name is on that TV. And this is on ITV primetime. And I was just like, I did it, but I never knew how to get there. And I think that was part of my journey. It was step one, step two, steps. It's like you, there are no steps to the journey. It's wherever it takes you.
Looking back, like I look back because we've both done some incredible groundbreaking stuff.
Absolutely. Right? Especially you, Sophia. I mean, I take my hat off to you.
Oh, really bless you.
And I think a lot of people out there that don't know this about Sophia, as crazy as she used to be and as amazing, Mother Gaia. Now, you've got to understand what she was fighting against. A lot of people hadn't even begun to understand. And especially, within the Bollywood world and the Indian world as well. As she said earlier, it'd been easier just to sleep with some rich Bollywood director to get the big roles. And a lot of people are still forced into that. I mean, it is rife in India.
It's saying forced into,
well, there was no choice.
There is in one way. So the first movie I did.
No.
Yes. Yeah. So the first movie I did in India, it was very obvious that this girl was there were three main lead actress, second actress, third actress, right? So I was the second actress. And one day on set, it was a pub scene and the producer put wine in front of us and it was like, "Is that real wine?" And the lead actress, who's very, very famous, she was like, "Well, I'm not drinking this." I said, "I'm not drinking this either. We're shooting." And so the other girl went, "Oh, I'm not drinking it either." And the producer just went, "You had a beer with me yesterday. Why are you giving this attitude now?" And then he said, "All right, pack up for today." He stormed off. I sat there thinking it was a joke because I've only ever worked in the UK.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't just pack up like 100 crew. And I'm like,
I
actually laughed. I'm like, no, this is a joke, right? And I'm like, no, this is real. So the lead actor was like, "I'm going to my hotel." And I was like, okay. So then we're walking out. This girl is running behind the producer going, "What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong?" He's gone off. Me and her get in a cab back to our hotel. "Sophia, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong?" I said, "Shall I be honest with you? He didn't act as your producer today. He acted as your boyfriend."
Yeah.
And she said, "What do you mean?" I said, "You're sleeping with him." She said, "But everybody does it in the industry." I said, "Listen, shoot for 10 days. Flirt with him if you have to.
Yeah.
And if he says to you, he wants to sleep with you, you say, fuck off, or I'm going to walk off your set." Because that 10 days of film costs a lot of money. There's no way he can afford to lose you.
To reshoot it. Yeah, no, definitely not. Yeah.
Oh, nobody does me that. I'm like, use your fucking head.
But then you see this.
But I never did
simplicity.
that.
Yeah, but you weren't like that. You fought.
That same director. So there were two producers. The other one had his room opposite me in the location where we were shooting.
Yeah.
And every night he was like, I remember one night, we're British, right? We hug everybody.
Sophia?
No, so we'd get up in the morning, go to set, come back at like 1, 2, 3, sometimes 5 in the morning after shooting. And then he'd give me a hug this one night and then pulls away and he's like, and I was like, I went, "Rajesh, naughty, go to bed."
Yes.
So because I didn't need their money, I already made my own money.
It wasn't even that. You didn't need it to get a career. You already had a career. But there were so many people out there that do, you see. And you were very much at the forefront of that, for leading the way in that. And I think that was pushing boundaries. You push boundaries that most women, I think out of, I mean, I watched quite a lot of big TV series that have a lot of very famous English Indian actresses in it. And you think of how did they get there? And they must have been very much like you, but you really did push the boundaries.
Yeah.
You really went out there publicly, whereas and you made it okay for these people to get to where they are today, because they're there now where you were doing this 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, that's where we should all
and
take
I
our hats
wasn't
off.
following what everybody else did. I wasn't afraid to.
But there was also no one else you could follow to beat the odds, because no one had done it before you.
Right.
So you led that way.
Yeah.
And it's like I look at
same with you.
Yes, but this is it in the gay world. I mean, 30 years ago you couldn't get married. Even civil partnerships didn't give you any rights and all the rest of it. We were at the front. I mean, I walked so many gay prides with Boris Johnson and all the prime ministers down there at the front, hosting them on the main stage, being. I've never been queer bashed in my entire life, but then I look at the younger generation now that are disrespecting the fact that, their older generation actually fought for them to be free, hey, and all the rest of it, and how disrespectful they can be to older gay men, like, oh, you dirty old man, and all the rest of it. Well, hold on a minute. Elton John, David Furnish, all these greats, we fought and fought fought for the equal rights. So respect that, but they don't. And that also no longer angers me, because it's not my anger, it's theirs. Obviously, it should make me laugh about it. But it upsets me that people don't know our history. Like, even actresses, if you actually researched a little bit back, not personal history, but the rights that people had and didn't have 30 years ago. I mean, God, I look at 30 years ago, Sophia, when I was 20, and to me, I'm still Julian. I've always been very inquisitive, and I've thrown myself in at every opportunity. I'm a lot different now in the past couple of years, but that's because.
But do you think when we were in our 20s that the people who are 30 years older than us would be having the same conversation?
No, but I'm sure they would do.
And did we give a?
Actually,
crap? We probably had...
No, we did.
We did have more respect
because we hung out with them. That was the difference, you see, because we weren't afraid to talk to older people, because older people. Because you've got to remember, when I was 18, my first partner was 16 years older than me, and I was with him for 12 years. And what was imperative was the fact that had I not been with someone at that age, God knows where I'd have been. I'd probably be dead by now. Because he guided me, because he had already been 16 years ahead.
But do you think that the younger ones are going to get there like we have? I think they will. I think they'll get there like we will.
And see, that's a question I'd like to answer.
But why does it bother us so much?
Should it bother me? No, it shouldn't, because it's their life.
It's their life.
But this is why I don't go onto social media, because when I do, I see them like that, and I'm thinking, idiot, idiot. And should I post a comment? No, because I'll be known as the bitchy, grumpy old man. But
that's not a bad tag.
But grumpy old queen. It's a show.
The truth queen.
Yeah. But I also know that the problem with them is that because all the other bullshit that's on social media, at what point can they filter truth from false?
Well, you know what? There is a lot of crap. No, but what I spend quite some time on social media, although I've kind of got off. Yeah, what the people who are on social media, what I have found is that it's coming back to something real. Now, don't forget that it's because of TikTok that Victoria's Secrets no longer uses tall, skinny models all the time. So,
they never used to. They used to use voluptuous,
Yeah, and then it became skinny
Brazilian
and tall.
Girls, big breasts and big hips, and then it went skinny.
Skinny.
And I've worked in that industry for 30 years, and I've been at the foot every year at London Fashion Week. I always got the same question: when are they going to stop doing size 0 on catwalks? But when you're Julia McDonald bringing out a beautiful collection on a size 16 model. It's theatre. It's not the dress is not designed for that size.
Right, he needs to design it.
And that was just it. But that's 12 pieces of a 300-piece collection. They show the best. The rest are the ones that sell on the market. Victoria's Secrets was, it led the way, and now look at them. But you see, they're affordable. Victoria's Secrets is an affordable brand. It never used to be.
Do
you know how much it used to cost to go to a Victoria's Secret show? £12,000 to get a ticket to go and see Victoria's Secrets to see. Wow. And they'd have Seal performing because the models and all the rest of it. They've had some of the greatest artists performing. But it is, even though you only get to Victoria's Secrets if you're somebody for the show, the actual shop you can walk in and 20 quid will get you something, where it never used to be. Because they have to appeal. Because you've got to remember, there are two brackets. There's the 20%, the 80%. 80% are working class, up to middle class, who work hard and aspire.
But what's happening, and this is what I'm finding, is that what people, as I said, there's two sides of social media, and I think there is one side that is dying, And that is the side that is looking for perfection all the time. That is that people want to see you real. They want to see you without makeup. They want to see
But
them.
so many people, we're back. Hello, people.
Oh, we are. Don't know what happened there.
Must have gone on a break. But the thing is, though, do the young generation know what real is anymore? Because they've never seen it.
I think they do, because I think what's happened is they've had such a push. See, if you have too much of one thing, then that almost makes you reject it.
Oh, I get that.
Right? So they're getting so much perfection. They're getting so much... they don't know what's real. In fact, people are saying, this isn't real, this isn't real. And they want real. They want to see real, right? So I actually think that push is taking people, on another level. Now, I wanted to talk about where did you get the strength to not end up in a situation that was dangerous? You could have carried on with the drugs. You could have. I mean, you look well. I know that you've gone
I've been through hell recently. I mean, honestly, I'll show you at the end of the show, but...
This is with your teeth?
Yeah.
So do you want to explain a bit of that?
Yeah, so, over years of chemo and throwing up, I like people with bulimia. You lose all your teeth at the back because your gums dissolve because of the stomach acid.
Yeah.
And I've always had bad reflux since I was born. I don't have the little flap at the top of the stomach that stops your food coming back or your acid. So at night when I sleep, the acid always used to sit around here, which is why my esophagus split originally.
Oh, wow.
And that led to cancer, which is what happened. So that was the whole process. And that was just something that was organic. There was nothing I could do about it. I believe that I got to a point in London and taking drugs and drinking and partying and filming and doing all of that, but my body stopped, and that's why I got cancer. It was telling me, stop. Enough is enough. If not, you're done for. And of course, I thought at 30, I'll be fine. I could carry on doing drugs while I was doing chemo. It wasn't until I moved back to Cambridge when I realised, actually, this is it. I'm done, because I will die. The next time, I've got no choice. Your body can only take so much. And when you hit your mid-40s, your body's... I forget I'm 50. I still sometimes wake up thinking I'm 21 again, and then I get up and my knee's aching, or, oh, your back's going. Your body is changing.
But if you do the right things.
No, of course, if you eat well and exercise.
Because I do yoga. I've just started doing Pilates.
Yeah, but you look at you. I mean, Sophia, you're the epitome of you've never not been healthy or fit. You used to party all the time, but you stopped. I
still
and you
went
changed.
To the gym.
But you see, you always kept your health and your fitness and your training and your yoga and you did all of that alongside that. I never did, because I just ran around. My energy was just all over the place. And then I decided, I had a great job, and then of course I had teeth that were all very wobbly. My gums had receded, because I still, every time I eat something, I will regurgitate it and re-eat it. It's when
some of it is also psychological,
and
right?
it's like so I was losing a lot of the back teeth. So a friend of mine said, look, let's get your teeth sorted. I went, brilliant. So I went to Hungary last year in February, on February the 7th. And I arrived at Hungary. I was there for 5 days, and it was a 3-part treatment. First, pull the teeth out they needed to pull out, let my gums heal. Then 2 months later, go back and have implants put in, and then leave it 2 months, and then put in all the final pieces of teeth. But when I got there, they didn't really speak English. My Hungarian has never been that good. And they pulled all my teeth out apart from 2. Okay? And this is the reality of what I have left. Okay?
Just going to show you now.
Show you. Okay. So I only have these 2 teeth here.
Oh my God. Wow.
And then up top, I had none at all.
Oh my God.
Okay.
You're so brave.
This is the reality of my life, which is why I'm there. And these...
You are so brave,
These
Julian.
have been broken so many times, I've had to re-glue them.
You've glued them?
Yeah, because I can't get new ones. They cost so much money. I have to re-glue them. But I came back to England with just 2 teeth, which without these, when I close my mouth, they cut my jaw. The teeth break the jaw, so I'm bleeding every day. I can't eat food, so I'm having to drink.
Can you eat food with these? No?
No, not very well, because they're just for show.
That's crazy.
I have to
and what NHS said being not great, as usual.
NHS, I still have to wait another 6 till March 2026 before I can get an appointment.
March 2026
is when I have
before you get an appointment.
Yeah, before I get an appointment. So that's how I live every day.
Listen, if anybody's watching who's a dentist and there's a fast track way,
it's horrifying. And the only way you can do it privately. So I went to my first treatment. They pulled all these out. I came back to England. I couldn't speak. I couldn't eat. I lost about 3 stone in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Because I was just shitting all the food out because I couldn't eat, couldn't chew. It's amazing how chewing food is so important.
Of course, yeah.
Because you get the nutrition, you get the goodness out of it. Because
I
couldn't chew anything. I lived on noodles and chocolate mousses that
because you couldn't chew anything. Right.
Because these dentures they gave me were just temporary for 2 months. But of course, I got fired from a job because I couldn't go to meetings. I couldn't show up with no teeth. I went down a very dark path. I thought, well, what's the point of living? How long ago was that? February the 7th last year. By February the 12th, that was me done. And then...
So you couldn't.
And then they stopped, and they wouldn't pay for me to have the rest of my treatment. So I got stuck with this, which I've had to deal with. Very difficult for me. Yeah. I didn't leave the house because they were so.
But Jules, listen, these people, who we won't say their name,
no, not at
right?
all.
Who you were working for?
Yeah.
Like you, did so much for them. You
give.
You even, I mean, I remember you took them to Cannes.
Did lots of great stuff.
And you got some huge celebrities.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's just what it is. It's suddenly and this was it. It came down the fact that when I wasn't there, they couldn't get anything. So rather than support me, because I said, look, I need a month off to deal with how I had to learn how to glue these dentures in every day.
Jesus Christ.
But you see, the problem was they fitted them while my gums are still swollen. So when my gums settled after a month, they didn't fit. So I had to break them, I had to re-glue them, I had to mold them, I had to reshape them because that's all I could do.
Do you think it was because you went to Hungary? Do you think that they would have been dealt with it better in the UK?
Well, I was told to go, no, the UK was going to cost £50,000.
What?
In Hungary, it was costing £17,000. And in Turkey, it was costing £8,000. But with Hungary came 10 years insurance. So it meant that if there's any problems afterwards, I was covered. But in Turkey, when you get them done in Turkey, you get 1 year. And after that, it costs a lot of money.
But hold on. So, okay.
Anyway,
that's that.
It's what's happened. And that's where I've had to. And that's.
I mean, that's a lot to deal with because, listen, your physical appearance.
I haven't eaten an apple for years. I've not been able to bite into anything. I still chew just here because that's the only 2 teeth that have the strength to break meat.
Sitting here, I mean, we're going through waves in this conversation. I can see that your energy's already shifted in one way, right? Which is gorgeous.
I'm happy because I've seen you.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. But, something like this, I don't think I could have coped with that.
You just have to, though, Sophia. But then you've been through stuff that I couldn't think of it.
Yeah.
But I think that's what we must remind ourselves, everybody, day to day.
Where does that strength come from, though?
The strength comes from here.
Yeah.
Because it's me. It can only be me that gives me that strength.
And you are more than the physical appearance. You are more than the situations that happen to you.
Because we've been there and done it. And I think back at what success we've had. I think the success only comes because of the absolute disasters that have happened at the same time and the bad shit that's happened to us that we weren't deserving of that made us stronger. Because I think you learn from those.
So I had a guest from Tulum who grew up in the Bosnian War. So as a child, every day she woke up not knowing if her mum and dad would be alive, if she would be alive. And she said something really beautiful. She said, when you go through these situations, if you are chosen, then a superpower kicks in, which she believes is in every human being.
Interesting.
But whether or not it's switched on and you're chosen for that to be switched on is another story. Think about it. So 2 people can be in the same situation. Why does one thrive and the other one doesn't thrive? 2 people can be in the same situation. So I believe, what she said was really, really important, is that why you were chosen for a reason. And this is what I believe. The things that I've gone into and that have happened to me in this life, aside from the celebrity stuff, there's been some legal stuff. And it was like these legal situations kept coming up. I'm like, why are these being presented? I won a court case. I went to trial on a no win, no fee. If I didn't win, I would have had to pay 200 grand, which I didn't have, right? I wasn't insured. But this message in my head kept saying, Sophia, do you believe the truth is the greatest power ever? I'm like, yes. So you must do this court case if you believe the truth. And my friends are saying, Sophia, you haven't got 200 grand to lose. But this truth message came through and I had to believe in the truth so much. It was something that arose in me, something that switched on, and I won. And the universe gave, like literally 48 hours before this piece of evidence turned up. It was a leaflet that had something on it, and I was like, this is all I need. And
the truth.
It was the truth. So I believed in the universe was saying, do you believe in the truth enough? I said yes. So the universe then backed me and gave me more.
Of course.
So
because you allowed it to.
Yeah, because I believed in it. And it's more than belief, it's a deep knowing.
Of course.
I know truth. I know truth will win if I back it. First, I have to back it.
You believe it. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't like the word belief because
if you back it, if you support it.
Yeah, it's knowing.
Yeah.
What do I know? Because there's something deep down. So there's something inside you that deep down knows.
Oh yeah.
It knows.
And I'm doing. And I'm going through that now. Like we talked earlier. What my biggest I suppose it is a challenge in a way. My biggest question for me is what's next for me. What is next? Because doing nothing is going to kill me because I'm not that kind of person.
You're not.
Restlessness. I need to be keeping busy.
Yeah.
You know, I put a lot of time and effort in recently to help another company that I've known for many years. And here I am nearly a year later after getting involved from August last year, bringing a lot of big names to what this company needed and still haven't been paid for 20, 30, 40 grand, still not coming.
Yeah.
And I'm fighting and giving up every day thinking, oh, I can't be bothered. Oh no, the money will be there. But what it's done is ruin my contacts and reputation with all these big artists because I brought them to the table and they said they were going to get this money and these people never got their money either. And it's like, I'm sick and fucking tired of that shit. And it's like, right. So this summer is going to be my absorption of energy and light and relax and thinking time to think, right, come spring, come autumn, what's my next journey?
Yeah. But hold on, let's talk about, okay, this situation first. So let's break it down. So I close my eyes just because I tap into a higher self.
Yep,
yeah,
I know you do.
So how do you think that situation where you did most of the work, there is a way that Julian could have instead, so there's two things, instead of going in a route that is like, okay, they had the power, I've let other people down, you could have switched it, right? It could have been, maybe you find another investor, maybe this, maybe that. Now that comes from another place of strength, right?
Of course it does.
So
but I did try.
Yeah, you did try.
I tried everything. And it's so annoying because it was.
How do you think you could have prevented that situation? So
I know how I could right from the beginning, rather than let myself get 3 months into something before I even open the front doors of negotiating with these other artists. I should have secured, and I got a contract in place and all the rest of it, but they never signed it at their end.
But hey, so
it was my fault for just running with it. And that's me.
So what that means is the universe is teaching you something, right? It's saying, okay, Julian, we've got big things coming for you like this. Oh my God, man, Julian, the universe having a word with you here. Hi, Julian, I'm the universe. You've done so many freaking amazing things. You're just making these little mistakes. We're going to let you make it again.
Yeah,
and again
absolutely.
and again.
And I keep making those mistakes because I'm too desperately eager to please.
No. And then, so then the universe is going, have you understood the mistake yet, Jules? So this is the point where you go, bloody hell, I've done this 30, 40 times. I get it now. And the temptation is always there because that is the default setting.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
So what you've got to do is to
take it off default.
It's like a mobile phone. Get it off the default setting, right? And
reset to factory
because
settings.
and it's just it's like when I used to smoke. I used to have a drink and then I used to have a line of Coke. That was the default setting, but don't do that anymore.
Well, don't start with the first trigger.
Yeah, no,
which is a cigarette.
Yeah, but
it's finding something else that's not.
Like now, I stopped drinking for 5 years. I can have a drink. I have 1, 2 drinks. I'm done. I can't drink any more than that because my body doesn't. My body,
the taste. My body rejects it.
Yeah,
instantly.
so my body doesn't like. I mean, I have 1 or 2 drinks and that's it. I went to Pasha last year in Ibiza and I danced till 5 in the morning and all I had was like 1 shot of tequila like this because it's a clean drink. But I don't need it, right?
No.
But what I'm saying is that default setting on the mobile phone or in my system. Yeah. So this is what you need to do is that you are nearly there. The universe is like, Jules, I'm back at you.
I know, and I've been nearly there. And this is the funny thing.
It's a default system. So what are you going to do? How you need to
reset?
Not reset everything.
No. Just my default system on this side of my life.
Yeah.
Which is what I want. This is what I just said. This next couple of months, I'm going to reset my default.
Yeah.
Thank you. on what I want to start off with in October, September time as such. I need a break because I haven't had a break, even though I've done nothing since February last year because of this.
Yeah.
It's not been a break because I've been dealing with all my other issues and all the shit that's going on at home and me and all the rest of it. Having seen you today, I'm resetting my default. Thank you very much. We got that. Did we all get my reset your batteries dead? See, your phone's reset. And now I can leave today going back home with what my next aim is to get my default setting. So thank you, Sophia.
No, beautiful. And
thank you for letting me share my teeth with you.
No, but that's honestly that's so brave. And when you get on that train on the journey home,
I can't wait.
You won't be affected by all of that because it can't affect you unless you give it the power.
Unless I allow it to, yeah.
Unless you give it the power. And I was the same, right? What's happening with me is I very much believe in truth, and our feelings are our intuition as well. So you must say it as you feel it, and let the energy come out. I was going to Ibiza to do a podcast, which won't be aired because the guy who you
told me
that he was a narcissist.
Yep.
And I called him out. I was like, you don't have any, because he had it shot in a studio, so he's got the rights to that footage, but he doesn't have the right because I didn't sign a waiver.
Good.
So I said, I don't want my name associated with you. You are not putting that on air. I haven't signed a waiver. Because I was like, it was horrible.
Yeah.
So, but the beautiful thing is I walked out knowing who I am, and him being a narcissist tried to throw it back on me, telling me, oh, it's because you're projecting on me. Narcissism. I see it a mile away. Whereas in the past, I would have been like, I might have thought about it and gone, Sophia, have you done something? No.
But
I know myself. Yeah.
There we go. You see, you know you.
Yeah.
And no matter what comes at you, you already know whatever your reply is.
Yeah.
Is right.
And nobody, Julian, can make you feel bad. You are in control of everything. It's just that the default setting, because of the way we were brought up, the lessons that we learned and were given by our parents, our culture, mainly the parents and the religion and culture are the culprits, right? So once they give you your default setting and then you carry on with it and then everybody else comes in. Then if the superpower kicks in and you've gone, you know what, my phone is slow. I'm slow. It's not, and nothing's working properly, you know, crash, get a new phone. You can't really do that unless you die and get another body, right? But you can clear the cache, you can clear the crap, you know.
Of course,
and that's what you're doing.
I've done it. I love it. And do you know what? It's like, I can guarantee you now, an hour and 20 we've been going. I guarantee you now when we finish and I show you my phone, I've not had one call, one message or nothing. I love that now.
Yeah. Me too.
It's just every 5 minutes, and I just don't have that anymore because it's block.
Yeah.
And it doesn't bother me. Whereas years ago, why is no one calling me? And then I start calling people because I felt lonely because I couldn't hear a voice. Now I don't want to hear anybody's voice apart from my own, which is reminding me to do this or because I talk to myself. I love talking to myself.
I talk to myself.
It's the best conversation ever because I do question myself. I do challenge myself. I do shout at myself.
And that is also your higher self coming in. So that's it is.
Yeah.
So what I do, I have my healing space where I have my healing clients, but it's also my scream room. So if I get annoyed with something, I will go up there and say, universe, what the fuck are you doing? I've done so much for people. You're not doing this. So I will, and so that really helps me. So I'll go in there and then I'm calm.
But that's your safe space.
But I don't even need to do that. So sometimes, for example, you might trip over, your dog might get in the way. Your pizza, your food didn't come on time. And then you're just like, what the fuck? So then I'll be like, I'm annoyed. So I say it out loud. I'm in the kitchen. I'm annoyed. And my higher self, what are you annoyed at? Come and talk to me. Everything. What? Your food didn't come on time? No. You tripped over your dog? Yeah.
Seriously?
So then then it's like, so this energy of this anger and this pissed off energy is because of all of that. What's actually really serious? What's actually really going on, Sophia? Nothing. Are you pissed off anymore? No.
And then you start laughing.
And I start laughing.
You fucking idiot.
So it really helps me just to have that conversation with them because I'm giving myself validation for my feelings.
No, absolutely. But I do the same and I question it. I even look in the mirror sometimes thinking, you know, or whatever it is, even banging my toe on the side of the sofa. I'm like, the fuck am I doing that? And it happens so often. All I need to do is move the sofa by half an inch and I don't. And it keeps happening. And then I get angry at myself. fucking, and you want to kick it, and then you're like, oh shit, you shouldn't have done that. And then you're like, you're up, yes, you're an idiot, and breathe, and then you just think, and then you finally move the sofa after a year of tripping over it. You move it, and you trip over it even more. Then you're like, oh. But
so
anyway,
so what I'd like to say in conclusion is that you're ascending. You're ascending. You're shifting. You're shifting into a higher consciousness.
I hope so.
Everything that you've gone through is the universe saying, Julian, we need you. Like, you've got a big job to do.
And I believe that.
Yeah. So it's like, you've survived this, you've survived this. But there's a reason, Jules, that we gave this to you. Sorry it had to be a difficult lesson. But
we need that.
Yeah.
You and I have needed difficult lessons
to become the queens of our kingdom, right? And I say to people, this life is prepping you for something, right? And maybe your next life, you're not meant to do anything, and maybe you won't come back. But I for sure know that I've got a whole freaking planet to look after somewhere. I might not come back to this planet. I might be out there, and it'd be like, okay, Sophia, you are actually the guardian of the galaxy, and you're in charge of all of these planets, and that's why you had to go through all of that, because you needed to grow up and understand what you were doing.
Yeah, of course.
No, I
believe that. For you. I believe that for you. I truly do.
I know I'm the Divine Mother. I'm Jesus incarnate in this wonderful body.
Hence the name Jesus came back and saved your life.
Right, yeah, exactly.
My whole...
But there's a lot, and I know my past lives are sacred, but I also know, I always say that even Jesus and Buddha, Kuan Yin, they made mistakes. And people are like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, if Jesus, when he sat down at that table and he said, one of you have deceived me, if he just said, it's you, get off my table, he might have still been alive.
Yeah.
Kuan Yin died because she loved too much. So we found that all these teachers were teaching love, love, love. And I'm like, you know what? Love, but back off if it's going to hurt you. You're not meant to stay there to die, because there's going to be energies that are going to suck at you. So if you look at these stories that are teaching us a lesson, what can you learn from what Jesus did? It doesn't mean you sit there and just love everybody. Loving somebody can be letting go of them.
Oh, completely.
Right?
Could be the greatest love of all.
Right.
Saying goodbye.
Let go. And love, I believe, is conditional. First of all, it has to come to yourself. What conditions do I need to thrive? You know, if you, I like
that.
What conditions do I need to thrive?
I like that.
If you have a baby, this is what I say to people. If you have a baby, would you put coke up its nose? Would you put it in a room full of people that smoke? You would want the best for that baby. Why are you not doing the same for yourself?
No, completely. There's a whole another show we'll do about other people.
But you are ascending.
I am. Thanks to you.
You are ascending.
Thanks to today.
Yeah, you're not.
I knew I needed to be here today.
Yeah. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you very much. Mwah. Mwah. And thank you, all of you lot who watched, and I hope you found it just as entertaining.
Beautiful.
But Sophia, I love you all with all my heart, and I'm so glad you're still with us.
And thank you for being so honest. I'm glad you're with us.
I'm still here. Still here, still queer.
I love that. Still here, still queer.